Hi everybody, welcome back to Amber Marie and AZ. You can see things have changed behind me, and here's my fluffy snowflake saying hello. She wanted to say hi tonight, I guess. Yes. It's almost 10:30 at night here, but it's been a crazy couple of weeks, let me tell you. Before I do stitching, I'm going to let you know my son and daughter are both out of the hospital, thank the Lord. My daughter is doing better. What my son went in the hospital for is doing a little better. But then this past Friday, he had a massive grand mal, and we didn't know if we were going to have him anymore. He lost oxygen for 3.5 minutes and turned absolutely purple in my arms. So we were a little frightened. We're like a lot. It's rare for me to cry during my son's seizures because I know it's going to turn out okay. And I have a lot of faith, and I'm a nurse. I don't work actively anymore, but I'm still a licensed nurse, so, you know, I always have that to back me, and it's a wonderful thing. And yes, I'm wearing Elvis tonight. This was my husband's when he was a kid, and he's a great fan of Elvis. And so I inherited the shirts when the house got cleared out. They were basically brand new, and I went, I'll wear them. So although green is not my color, it's Elvis, dude. So that is where we stand with that. I found out today that we lost a very, very caring friend and extended family member. She is my grandson's aunt in some way. She passed away at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So prayers for Tiffany's family, please, because they really do need it right now. She was an amazing lady and dog rescuer and breeder, and she was just really wonderful. And she was going to loan us a kennel for Spooky Doo to get neutered, and, well, Jimmy, her husband, lost his mom, who was a very dear friend, and my son's father's aunt. And we lost Vicky 2 years ago, and now he's lost his wife. She had cancer, and her body just could not sustain off of life support. So prayers for her, please. Also, yesterday, my father-in-law went in the hospital with, he'd had chest pains, went to the cardiologist, and had an irregular EKG. His EKG was reading at approximately 40 beats per minute. Not good. Even in an 80-year-old. Not good. He has a stent in the right side of his heart, of his chest. They went in to do a heart catheter today to find out if everything was okay, what caused the chest pains. And the nurse said 1. My father-in-law said it was 3. We'll find out for sure tomorrow from the doctors. But they had to put more stents in on the left side. So, he is 80 years old, and I would greatly appreciate your prayers for my father-in-law. His name is Ed. He and I generally do not get along, but like him or not, I do love him. He is my father's husband, or my husband's father. It's been a long day, folks. And so please, prayers for Ed, please. And for my son, that they can finally figure out the key to these seizures and this depression that's being caused by the seizures. It's not a good situation, folks. It's really not. So, hold on. I think my son's coming home. Sorry about that. So my son's name is Nicholas. I need, please, please, if you pray or just send out good thoughts or whatever it is you do, prayers for Tiffany's family, for my father-in-law Ed, and for my son Nicholas, and continued prayers for my daughter Tia, my oldest daughter. She's still not out of the woods, guys. Don't know that she ever really will be. But prayers, here's Ladybug. Prayers are greatly appreciated. Now, my adopted son, Dusty, who's also my tattoo artist, who was here for 2.5, 3 weeks, got into his own place. And this little thing he left here just knocked over a bunch of stuff. He was trying to get a pup to train for service. And it turned out the friend that he moved and got a house with hates Chihuahuas beyond belief. I'm not a Chihuahua girl. As you can tell, I'm an American Eskimo girl. But we weren't going to let her go up on Craigslist or anything else, and we're not positive we're keeping her. But of course it's leaning that way because we don't want her to end up with the wrong people. So, he named her Jasmine. And because she's really crazy, Sometimes she's soft and subtle and sweet and everything's great, and the rest of the time she's nuts. And going like this, like a terrier. We call her Jazzy. Jazz. Stop. So this is Jasmine. She is 7.5 weeks old. They said she's a deer head chihuahua, and we know the mommy was that. And I guess the male that was with her was also a deer head chihuahua, but we think there's some maybe Jack Russell mixed into this. Maybe mommy met a Jack Russell. We don't know. But yeah, she's got very sharp teeth, and she's kind of crazy, and she keeps trying to eat my needlepoint canvas. And my yarn. So, on that note, tons of things started this week, and tons of things finished this week. Fully finished. Finally, as you can see behind me. But I'm going to start with something. My daughter last month bought me this, and I'm not sure if I showed it, so I'm going to. It's a planner, but I use it to keep track of what I've done for the day, what, you know, special dates are coming up and things. Jazzy, stop biting me, please. So, my daughter bought me this. She said it was a message that I needed to hear. This is from my youngest daughter, Sarah. Ow! Now you see my problem here. My husband thinks we can stick out the biting phase. I'm not sure if I'm going to bite her back first. Not really, but I'm thinking about it. Anyway, so every month has encouraging words to start the month with Jasmine. And it's been helping a lot with everything going on. So to Sarah Michelle, thank you very much, baby. That gets used every single day. Ladybug's not sure if she wants to love on her or eat her. We're just not sure yet. And Spooky Doo loves her. He's half Chihuahua, and she chases him around the house and plays with him. But he's only 2.5, so that kind of makes sense, right? I'm going to put her down. There you go, Jazz. Maybe I'll have 5 seconds before she climbs back up. So, you knew I was working on a page 2 finish for Gaze. I got it, guys. I'm going to tighten that up for the moment. And you can tell it is a wolf. Looky there. You can see his beautiful face. But until I get a photocopy of the next page for a working copy, I'm stuck on it. So it's going to sit for a little bit. And that's quite okay. Because I also did a couple Halloween pieces. And I have one in the progress for Halloween. This will at some point say boo and have a ghost on it. Let me get it the right direction. But I started that. You can see where the bee is forming here. Okay. And this is a free pattern online, by the way, guys. Just do a search for Halloween cross-stitch patterns. Free Halloween cross-stitch patterns. And all 3 of these came that way. This said boo underneath it. I just didn't think it suited well with a bat, so I left that part off. So, I knitted this up, or knitted it. Oh my goodness. I stitched this up in just a few hours. So, it was very quick, easy pattern. It's very small. But I would suggest putting this on something, like adding it to something, not on its own. I have a reason for it being on its own, which you'll probably see next time I do a video. And I have a witch pumpkin, a pumpkin witch, that goes in my yard every year for like the last 13 years. So when I found this, I had to do it, because my pumpkin witch is purple-hatted with a spider on the end that goes in my yard every year. So now I have one stitched, and it will be finished on a wall hanging this next time. So those were my new cross stitches that I did and my page finish that I did. I've not yet done another page on Spirit Wolf because I needed kind of a full coverage break momentarily from it. So I took that. Let me loosen that back up. There we go. So I've had this needlepoint canvas forever, and I had the blue chair almost completely stitched, and we could not find the matching thread for one of the blues, so I just took it all out and I've started it over. So I started this over again. I just love this. I got this when I was 40 years old because I was in early onset menopause, and this just really kind of suits me. So working on that. And my youngest daughter's my youngest daughter's boyfriend's mother apparently goes to estate sales where there's a lot of crafty stuff, and she had found a piece, and she had no idea that my dad, who raised me, was half Cherokee, or that I grew up doing a lot of singing events for the local Apache tribe that also involved Navajo and such. And my son assumed this was a Navajo piece. It's not. It's Apache. And being an Arizona girl, I love my saguaro, especially in bloom. So last night I started putting in the lighter color on the saguaro. And today I got almost the entire saguaro stitched. So this was my morning. And you can tell where the light is not shining through, it is stitched. But isn't that a cute piece? I just love that piece. Only the fact that only one of them has facial features scares me half to death. So when I'm done, they will all have facial features. Because that gave me the creeps. Now, my next new start, as far as I know, unless I have one of my, I don't want to touch 1,000 beads on a small piece, because it feels like 1,000 beads. I've apparently had this for about 8 years, sitting in my stash, and didn't know I still had it. But I paid quite a bit of money for it. I just don't know that I want to use the blue for the word welcome. I think it should be purple. So I have to have that internal debate for a little bit before I start that. Hi, Jazz. Yes, crazy child. And during primetime TV, because this week, of course, was season starts from the shows that I like, we have a family friend, Christopher, who has a daughter that I think is either turning 4 or just turned 4 now. You see the problem with the Chihuahua. And she likes my yarn the wrong way. He wanted a new blanket for her. So I'm going to show you the color I started, obviously. It's called Watermelon. Ow! And it's just simple garter stitch, but I do this while I'm watching TV because I don't need to watch my hands while I knit something simple. So both ends of this will be this color, Watermelon. This is my favorite acrylic yarn, especially for kids. It's highly machine washable. It does not pill up and give you a bunch of problems. It's wonderful, and it lasts for decades. It is Karen Simply Soft. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it at Michael's. This stuff's amazing. And Hobby Lobby. And Joann's, I think. The other two colors that will be going into it are called Blue Mint. Is that still the name of it? Yeah, Blue Mint. And Grape. Gotta get some purple in there, folks. Gotta. We're talking about me. Is that grape? They changed it to Iris. It used to be grape. But okay. So she's going to have her Kool-Aid or, you know, candy-colored blanket to sleep with this winter. And for many winters to come with the way these wash. So that is my during TV project. Now, that's all the stitching I've been doing. However, it was time for some FFOs, guys. Ladies, gentlemen, folks, everybody. You knew that I started this Flosstube with In Harmony, and it's a very important piece to me because not only is it for me about Snowy, Frosty, and Chrissy, my very first Eskies. Chrissy's still with me, thank you. Goodness, and sadly, Snowy and Frosty are not. Hence, I have all the others, or I would only have my 3 still. And because I had brushed them over the years and saved a little bit of their hair to have spun into yarn, and never got a chance to do that, their hair went into part of it. For each puppy, they each got a little bit of that puppy's hair. So I'm going to pull you up here. Sorry for the movement. I'm not trying to make anybody nauseous. I'm sorry. But I want you to see what we did this week. So, I bought this frame the day I got the pattern. And I think it really suits it. And yes, I grew up around professional framing, so I learned how to professionally frame needlework. Thank goodness. So, In Harmony is finally complete and hanging above my bed. My very first needlepoint piece ever, because I grew up doing cross stitch and crochet and then knitting and quilting, and eventually, of course, me with my Winnie the Pooh problems, there we go. There's my first needlepoint piece ever, and it is in a frame as well now. Now, this next piece I did 2 of, and I did fully frame them both, and one of them hangs in my bathroom, and one is here to remind me to take time. And of course you see Frosty's depiction and Snowy's depiction, and then this piece that will go into my dining room that says, you know, I gotta have that little Italian bit in there, life is good. And it is, in spite of the difficulties. So those are my fully finished at this point that I've done, and I love them. Oh, and I moved my angel to above my head, because I have to have my angel. Absolutely have to. So, you hadn't seen any FFOs from me, and I thought it was important that I get them up. I needed the babies up. And the others, I thought it was important that you get to see some of these get done. So, those are all up now. And these others will soon be up. Among my mother-in-law's, late mother-in-law's things, were a lot of frames. And a bunch of Irish linen. Ow! Jazzy, that hurts. Ow! Okay, you need to go night-night. So, I was blessed enough that my husband and my father-in-law felt those things should come here for me to work with. So that's what I'm doing, and that's where that frame came from. It's a set of 2. So at some point, Winnie will be moved to a different frame, because there are 2 coordinating and matching wolf pieces. One is called Howling at the Moon. One is called Soulmates. And they are joining pieces by Custom Crafts Inc., which is who made Gaze. And they will go in those matching frames, as long as they're the right size, which I think they are. Oh, sorry, I have to put down the biting monster. And that's really all there is. It's a lot. Or at least it feels like a lot. A lot of FFOs. A lot of stitch pieces. Page finish. 2 finished cross stitches that were started and finished in the last week. So, plus the cooking, the people in the hospital, and I feel like I'm coming apart at the seams. But, in spite of all that, we'll keep going. Oh, here's my spirit. Okay. So, as always, folks, my thoughts and prayers are with all of you. God bless you, and I hope you have a wonderful night and a great stitchy week. Bye.